Okay, so if you saw my zipper face tutorial, then you kind of already know what we're doing here. So all I'm doing is I'm laying down some liquid latex, and then I'm taking some unrolled cotton balls, and I'm just kind of taking pieces from those cotton balls and laying them on top, and then laying liquid latex on top of that to kind of build up that wall of skin, if you will. And as I'm laying the liquid latex onto it, and as the liquid latex dries, because it dries pretty fast, I'm kind of using my sponge and my fingers to form the shape of the peeled up skin, like the way that I want it to look. So just make sure that as you're layering and laying everything down, that you're also kind of pushing and pulling it into the shape that you want it, because at least the liquid latex that I'm using, and usually liquid latex just in general, it dries pretty fast. So as you can see, I'm just laying it down, or laying the liquid latex down, laying cotton on top of it, and just slowly layering it, shaping it, and building everything up as I go. Okay, so now I'm just going in with a blow dryer to make sure that everything is absolutely 100% dry before I go in and actually paint it. Now we're going to be doing it differently from how we did it in the zipper tutorial. This one, with that one, I laid down the red first, but this time I'm laying down the black because I want this one to have a lot more depth to it. So I'm laying down all the black first, so she's gonna look like she just came fresh out of the mines for a second. But then I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna layer it with a little bit of brown, and then I'll go in and layer it with some red. And as you can see, as I get towards the end of her, or the bottom of her neck there, I kind of really just fade it out, keeping the line really soft. You don't want a hard line there because you don't really want it to have a harsh starting, where you want it to, look a little bit more real. So here is where I am starting to go in with that brown, and I'm just using a brush that I really don't care much about ruining, and I'm just kind of filling it in. I really didn't put a lot of brown in there. I think I decided that it wasn't making that big of a difference, but it does add a little bit more depth to it, and then I just go over it with the red. So now here I'm going in with the red, and I'm making sure to give a really nice heavy coat of red, because we don't want to really see the black or the brown. We want the red to obviously be the main color that you see, because we want it to look bloody. The black and the brown are really just there to give the red the depth. So I'm really covering that with the red as much as possible. And then again, as I get towards the end of the prosthetic where her neck is, keeping everything really nice and soft. Now actually here I'm going in on the inner portion of that skin flap. Sorry if that's gross, but I'm going in with some light pink and some white to kind of give it a little bit of that fleshy tone. And now I'm just going over that light pink, just stippling on a little bit of red to make it look a little bit more bloody and gory. And so now I'm just concealing everything outside of the wound, and I'm gonna conceal her face. We're gonna give her some messy makeup and stuff like that, but I'm really making sure to completely conceal all of that liquid latex and cotton. And as you can see, I'm just concealing the rest of her face. Obviously, this isn't the main part of the look, so I won't get too into detail on this, but I'm basically just giving her, you know, a nice even base, and then I'm gonna go in and start applying some black eyeshadow. Really, really messily. I wanted her to look like she's had a rough time, because obviously she's had a rough time with this kind of wound. So I'm being really, really messy, just applying like some cheap black crappy eyeliner, smudging it out, smudging the black eyeshadow around, just making her look like maybe she's been crying and sweating and, you know, all those things. So yeah, and just applying some mascara, and then I'm going in and just filling in her brows to make her look a little bit more human. And now I'm going on to those outer edges with the same kind of bruising technique that we did in the zipper tutorial. So I'm just layering reds, blues, and purple grease paints on the outer portion of that prosthetic that we built to give it kind of that irritation. And, you know, obviously if your skin is being ripped apart, it's gonna kind of have some bruising and stuff. And I actually start to bring that up into her eye area a little bit, which would actually be pretty normal if you had a bad wound, you know, around close to your eyes. Usually the blood vessels will break around there, and it'll go and it'll kind of look like you have a little bit of a black eye. So as you can see, I kind of bring that up into her eye area a little bit. And now for the best part, the fake blood. So I'm just going in and completely covering her with several layers of fake blood because I wanted it to start dripping down as well. And this is actually fake blood that I made out of syrup and red, blue, and green food coloring. So it tasted good if it got in her mouth, and it looked really good. So yeah, if you have any questions about that, just leave them in the comments and I'll be sure to let you know how I did it. So here's the finished look, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope that you learned something new, and happy Halloween. And don't forget to subscribe. Okay, bye.
Dang, this really hurts, guys. Dude, you made like the skin flesh look legit. I still can't think of like a legit way like how this happened. I ate a grenade. Maybe.
I thought I was biting into an apple, but I forgot that I kept my grenades right next to my apples.
It just seemed like a good spot at the time. I will request a picture after the final look.
Okay, no pictures allowed.
Please, sir.
Of course you can have a picture.
Oh God, it looks so beautiful.
Do you feel fabulous?
I do.
Good.
This is me now.
Dude, you look so cool. Oh my gosh, it looks even better in video. Act like it hurts. Act like you're scared and you don't know what just happened.
I don't know.